Hello, people. This is your host and host Kranti once again back with another new What If, and this is What If Deku, oh boy, aka Midoriya, is or was Kenpachi. So, Kenpachi Zaraki is one of my favorite, super favorite characters of all time. So yeah, he is one of my I love Bleach. From Bleach, he's my most favorite character because he's raw, unadulterated badassness, incarnation of raw, adulterated badassness. Because that's our boy Kenpachi, and he's one of the most brutally sadistic creature ever to have worked on Earth. So yeah, he got game, big game. So yeah, I love Kenpachi Zaraki and all of his super manly berserker glory. Yeah, so it's gonna be this series is gonna be pretty brutal because come on, it's Kenpachi and it's Bleach. This show's name is Bleach because there is so many blood that you need bleach to remove the stain. Yeah, that was a cringe joke. Sorry. No, regardless, this is not gonna be any quirk or any stuff like that. This is gonna be reincarnation. So Deku is gonna be the reincarnation of Kenpachi Zaraki, the awesome mad lad that he is. He's gonna be the reincarnation of that guy, and he's gonna kill a lot of people. So so Kenpachi is brutal and sadistic as AF. So he's gonna when Deku is born, he's gonna be diagnosed as corkless right on the spot. So all of his mother, his father Hisashi, is just straight out rapes him, and his mother Enko is no, I don't want to be mother to to some corkless wannabe losers. So she abandons him she abandons him. So Deku literally grows up in street, so he doesn't have any friends or family. So there's he lives in underworld, in a area of society where it's literally it's kind of Rukon district, but not that backward. But if you watch Bleach, that Rukon district is little bit backdated. But there's gonna be a lot of thugs and stuff, and people misuse their power. It's a neighborhood that is so dangerous that even pro heroes don't want to get in there because it's that dangerous. So yeah, we're just gonna call it crime alley or something like that. So yeah, Deku's gonna be growing in there. So as he's growing up, so he will have a personality of Kenpachi, a bloodthirsty personality. So he's gonna so everybody has a quirk. So since he doesn't have a quirk, he has Ryatsu, which literally Ryatsu is so overpowering that if somebody has higher Ryatsu than you literally the other person can literally get on your they can fall down, they can be unconscious, they could be vomiting, and they could be scared the shit out of them. It's you can't stand on your 2 feet if your opponent has higher spiritual pressure, that is Ryatsu, than you. It's that potent and it's that powerful. So yeah, Deku will have a huge amount of Ryatsu and spiritual pressure, because come on, our boy Kenpachi has a spiritual pressure that is the size of Mount Everest, where everybody else is an ant. So yeah, Deku's gonna be like that. So every time he looks at people with a weird eyes, hey, you're looking at me, something like that, and people will collapse, they will vomit, they will shit, they will cry. It will make them so afraid of him that they will cry. So yeah, he picks up he just randomly picks up a sword, and yeah, that's gonna be his shihakusho. That's gonna be his like sword. So yeah, he just like puts his spiritual pressure through that. That's why like he can control it. So he's gonna, I don't know, should I bring Yachiro in this what if or not, but I think I should bring Yachiro because Nozarashi is like a big reveal. Because I mean, come on, our boy Kenpachi's like Shikai is so OP and Bankai is like don't get me sad on there. And he's like the most amazing character because he limits himself to have a fun battle. So yeah, Deku is gonna be like that. Deku's gonna like limit himself a lot because I mean, come on, it's Kenpachi. So I mean, if he can't like, I mean, that's the fun of Kenpachi. So yeah, he's gonna limit himself. He's gonna wear like eye patches, stuff like that. He's gonna be in like straight jackets. No, that's too bad. He's gonna be wearing like weights and stuff like that. He's gonna wear like belts all over his body so that the opponent can hear him and like have a powerful and amazing fight. Because every time he fights, like from a very young age, he like literally like killed like over like, let's just say like 1,000 person, because he lived in criminal alley, like crime alley, stuff like that. So he killed them with his sword, and he just loves to fight, and he loves to get cut too. So he's just like, I love to fight and stuff like that. So yeah, he's like Kenpachi is like brutal AF, like Deku is gonna be brutal AF in this timeline too. He's gonna be like so brutal that like he will give like scare. He will literally scare the shit out of like everyone in My Hero Academia universe because he's that brutal. He's that brutal guy. So yeah, Deku's gonna be like born with the like ability of like what's it called, like as we say, like spiritual pressure Ryatsu. He picks up the sword, and I don't know, should I introduce Yachiro? I think I will. So yeah, he's gonna like travel the like world, and when he's like 15, he's gonna enter into like UA High. So the interaction with him and Bakugo never happens because he lives in a different place, because he's like an orphan. His mother kind of dumped him, his father kind of left him. So yeah, I mean, the interaction never happens, so he never gets bullied. And plus, I mean, come on, who the hell would bully Kenpachi, Zaraki, Deku? He just like will stomp you. He will just like, if somebody tries to bully you, he just kill you. Plus, so he's not that bright like intellectually, but I mean, he still has like decent amount of like, okay, no, we're not gonna do like that, sorry, that's not how it's gonna be done. Okay, so essentially what will happen is like one pro hero, let's just say Gunhead, not Gunhead, sorry, like Aizawa. Yes, Aizawa is like living in the crime alley as like undercover, in undercover. So yeah, Aizawa Eraserhead will do that kind of stuff because he's that kind of hero. He doesn't want to get into like he is the hero that will like remain in the shadow to make things how it is. So yeah, Eraserhead just like lives in the crime alley, and he tries to like solve crime and stuff like that, and he gets in a pickle where there's like approximately like 100 people trying to fight with him, and Deku comes, and Deku is like, you're pissing me off, I can't sleep. So there's like, hey, you can't sleep, and the thugs are trying to attack him, and Deku is like, it's your funeral. So Deku like kills them all, hundreds of them in front of like Aizawa, and after killing like one or two, Aizawa tries to like dampen his coke. Like he wants to like erase his coke, but he can't because he just can't, because it's not a cork, it's a Ryatsu, stuff like that. So, and Aizawa, like as soon as he's like, hey, he's coming to thank you, and Deku just looks at him, like Kenpachi stares, and there's like, he's just like vomits, and he's just like, he can't like stand up. He's like, kid, please, I can't stand. stop whatever you're doing. And Deku is like, I can't stop it. And then he like, sorry, somebody just messaged me. So like then he like gets like a 7. He puts an eye patch, like that's which like sucks up Ryatsu and stuff like that. Yeah, Deku has his past life memory too. He puts that eye patch on his like belly and stuff like that. So he gets like, I mean, so he just like, he has little bit of Ryatsu control, so he tries to contain it in his body, and he's like, okay. Aizawa gets up, and Aizawa is like, shit, kid, that was like amazing. Do you want to be a hero? And Deku is like, no, I don't want to. I just want to fight and battle and have exquisite battles every time. And I was like, well, if you become a hero, you will get to fight with stronger opponents. And Deku is like, okay. I mean, why didn't you say this now? And Deku and Aizawa is like, shit, damn, if that kid, Aizawa was like thinking like, if that kid ever becomes a villain, the whole hero society will be done for. This kid needs to become a hero, otherwise we're screwed. So yeah, Aizawa puts a special recommendation for Deku. So yeah, it's gonna be like so he doesn't have to take the test, because Aizawa is like trying to teach him and stuff like that, and he's like not that bright, but Aizawa just like puts a word for Nezu, just like, yeah, if this kid ever becomes villain, we're done for. We need this kid, because that kid is way too strong. I don't think even All Might can beat him in his good days. So Aizawa is like, then Deku is like, okay, like Nezu is like, okay, so let's get him to UA high. So he does the special recommendation exam where there's like 10 like 0-point robots, and there's like Momo and also like Todoroki, and he just like releases his Ryatsu, and like everyone just falls down. They can't stand up. It's Kenpachi Zaraki. And if you've seen Bleach, the first time when Kenpachi Zaraki like encounters Ichigo, he slices a building with one swipe. So he does like one swipe, and he slice like one 0-point robot in hype. He does like, he literally one shots every robot with one sword and with one click. And yeah, so they're like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? And Kenpachi doesn't do two-handed slice at all. He doesn't even do keto. He just does it like with one slice. He's like and he's like, he's doing the exam while he was like sipping soda or stuff like that. And yeah, people are like, what the hell, man, what is this guy made of? He's like sipping soda and like destroying robots left and right, and everyone is dying like that. And Nezu is like, okay, so you're that strong, let's see what more can you do. So what Nezu does is essentially he like calls all the 0-point robots, like all of them at the same time, and he's just like, let's see how strong you can be. So there's like 200 0-point robots just comes and tries to attack him, and he just destroys them like slowly one by one, and no one gets the chance to like destroy any robot at all. So Deku is like, okay, so are we done yet? That wasn't fun. Then he's like, he points his long sword to Todoroki. You there, you seem strong, wanna fight? I just dying for a fun fight. And then Todoroki's like, no bro, I don't wanna fight, because the thing that people saw is like, I mean, come on, who the hell wants to fight somebody like that? Like, no. No, nobody wants to fight. Nobody wants to fight him. So they're like, no bro, we're not gonna fight. Yeah. So it's like, what a bummer. It's like, and he like shouts to in his head like, Aizawa, are we done? Because if you say, because I'm bored, if you don't provide me with more exercise or with more fire, or like with more fun little thing, I will kill them all here. Because my blade hasn't tasted blood in a long time. And everybody's like, okay, yeah. Nezu is like, yeah. Young Midoriya, we are young. Zaraki, we are done. Yeah, in this instance, we're not gonna call him Midoriya because he's orphan, so he doesn't get the name Midoriya or Deku. He gets the name Zaraki, because that's the name that he was given. I guess Zaraki means devil or killer. So yeah. He's like, yeah, he's Zaraki, and he's like, okay, yeah, we're done, Zaraki, we're done. So Deku is like, okay, we're done, and everybody's like shit scared of him. So he doesn't get the highest score, obviously, because he didn't do well in the academic section. So Bakugo gets the highest score. After that, it's Todoroki and Yaoyorozu, as they had to take the exam separately without Deku in there in another day, because all the specials, and they did well, but it's not like, they didn't like destroy over 200 or 300 0-point robots single-handedly. They did destroy some, but they didn't destroy like 200 robots just by themselves. Which Deku, our boy Zaraki, yeah, we're gonna call Deku here Zaraki. Zaraki does it, and he's like, he doesn't give a shit. So he just acts through it. He's just doing his shit, and people are like, okay. So yeah, he does this thing, and that's gonna be like, so he's gonna like go into like UA High as a student. And from the first day of, like, when people are saying like, what's her name again, Uraraka is saying, what about orientation, and I was always like, orientations are for losers. We're a hero course, we're gonna go to get to work and get the shit done in as quick as we can. So he is like going to the get your school uniform and stuff. Like, Deku doesn't wear the school uniform. He has the drip of the captain, and he's gonna wear the shihakusho. He remembers his past life, obviously, so he's gonna so yeah, since he remembers his past life, we're not gonna put Yachiru here, because if we put Yachiru here, it's gonna be too complicated. I bet like there's like in his mindscape he connects with Yachiru and stuff like that, and he has like he can release his Shikai. If we're not gonna give him Bankai, because if we give him Bankai here, he's gonna F everyone up. Period. We're not gonna give him Bankai. He's gonna be aware that he's Kenpachi, but he's not gonna be as powerful as original timeline, because come on. Bleach character in My Hero Academia universe? Nope. Can't happen that. Come on, the battle with him and Noitora, that just shows how brutal Kenpachi is. So yeah, he's just like going through it, and it's like he throws the balls to Bakugo. It's like, hey, throw as hard as you can. Bakugo throws it at this like 1,000 meter or like that, at 1,000, like 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometer and stuff like that. And big whoop, nobody gives a shit. And they throw the ball to Kenpachi. Kenpachi on his strength, just his base strength, because in original, like in Bleach, Kenpachi could like flip the Zero Spada, the Spada no Zero. That is, I guess his name was Yami. Yeah, the Zero Spada, who was like gigantically big, like on a size of like a smaller country. He was like hugely big. He could throw him, flip around him. Like if he could like judo slam him, so Kenpachi would like he's just without all for one, he just throws there, and it just goes like not infinity, it's gonna go like 1,000 kilometers, and people are like, all of them are like, Nani, what the hell happened? They like, all of their jaw drops, literally like Usopp face, jaw drops. It's like, Nani, what happened? And he's like, this is so mundane. When do I get to kill people? When do I get to fight with people? So he just does the exam and he becomes number one. Come on, it's Kenpachi. So like after that, like it's heroes versus villain. Like All Might comes, I am here walking like a normal person. Who gives a shit? It's Kenpachi. So he's like, we're gonna do heroes versus villain fight. And in this one instance, like as our request that he doesn't work well with other people, so we're gonna put him alone. Like Kenpachi is gonna be alone and Zaraki is gonna be alone, and there's gonna be like what should I say, there's gonna be like 5 other teams, like teams of like Bakugo, Ida, there's gonna be like 4 people against him. So there's gonna be Bakugo, Ida and Tsukiyomi. I love the bird guy. I should make a what if where he gets the one for all, because he's kind of cool. Like there's the bird guy, like Tsukiyomi, the Prince of Darkness. Prince of Darkness, that's a pretty dope idea. So there's Tsukiyomi, and also gonna be, what's the guy, like the tentacle hero. He's pretty cool. He can like grow and regrow limbs. He's like Robin, but with limitation. Robin from One Piece with limitation. There's like they try to fight, and Bakugo is like, not happening. He tries to attack, and he's like, Deku just like releases his spiritual pressure. Bakugo is like, what is this? I can't get up. What is this nasty feelings? Why do I get scared of my like life? And like Deku is coming, and there's like the noise of the bell, like ching ching. Okay, I'm gonna have to put bell noise there. I mean, imagine bell noise like ching ching. He's coming there, and everybody's like, why? What is this noise? And there's like they're like literally, some of them are like literally on the ground. Like I bet Tsukiyomi won't be, because he has a strong will, and I like Tsukiyomi. That guy can play guitar, and he's like Prince of Darkness. He should be in a band he should be in a metal band, like he should be in a metal band called like Birds of Darkness. No, that's bad. He should be in a band called Dark Chicken. Or he should start a YouTube channel where he puts music and like shreds, and it's called Dark Chicken Head. Like Prince of Dark Chicken. Where he makes music like I do in this channel. You can check them out. Self-promotion apart. We're gonna continue, jokes apart. So he's gonna like make so he will be able to stand up. So they're going, and Baku is like, what the hell? And Tsukiyomi's like, get up, let's do this. And they get up, and he comes like this, the bell noise comes, and he like Kenpachi, like Zaraki like watches them with his one eye. He has eye patch, obviously, because Kenpachi look without an eye patch is incomplete. He just looks at his one eye, and they're like literally they're like gasping. They can't breathe properly. It's that fearful. If you watch Bleach, you know how it feels to be in the presence of Kenpachi. Like even lower Soul Reaper feels when they're in presence of Kenpachi, and they're like losing it completely. And he's like, I bet you guys will give me a good fight. See what happens. I will give you one thing though. A free strike. He just like opens his Shihatsu and is like, you can attack me however or how you want to attack. You can attack me all of you want to. If you want, you can attack. So as soon as he does that, like Bakugo puts like a big ass Hauser impact from straight, and like Ida is coming from from the side, from the right side, and he's like attacking him with a full power, like reciprocal burst, and he stands there and he's like, that's it, that's so weak. And they're like, what the hell, what is this guy, who the hell is this monster? And he's like, okay, it's my time to attack. So he gets his katana out and doesn't even like slice them with the katana. He just like brushes from distance, and the air pressure, that's Zoro shit. I should do Zoro what if one time. So it's kind of like Zoro, but it's sort of, he just like does a regular slice, and they're like all like hurt. They will get cut too. He wouldn't use his power. No. Instead of a normal katana, he will use a wooden one, and they will get cut with a wooden one. I mean, it's Kenpachi. He's that broken. Not even a katana. He will just, not even a kendo stick. He will use a bloody kendo stick, a bamboo kendo stick, and they will get cut with this. It's that OP with one-handed kendo stick, and it's like they will get cut. I mean, if it was Bleach, somebody's arm is probably gone by now, but it's not Bleach, it's My Hero Academia. But don't worry, it's gonna be arm cutting future part. So they're cut, they're like severely cut. And Deku just walks right to it, and he's like, so do I have to touch this? So he touched it with his finger, and it's like, everybody, Deku is won, and they're all shocked, and they're like baffled. And All Might is asking, what is wrong with this battle? And like Momo says, there's nothing wrong with this battle. He's just in a league of his own, and we can't match up with him. All Might is like, damn, Carl, you're right. Even I don't know if I can match up with him or not. So things go like that. So last time where we were, like, Deku literally destroyed the Cork apprehension test. He demolished oh boy, demolished everything and everyone there. And so he just like, and he did it with the freaking kendo stick, not even with his original like katana, like Asauchi. He's not even with his original Asauchi. And he just like bonkers through it, and he just like kills it, and people are like, whoa man, what the hell man, you're too strong. Even All Might is like scared of him. So we are gonna go to the USJ arc, and in the USJ arc, the whole incident, like Shigaraki, Kurogiri, they come and they try to like ruin their, they try to ruin it, but like the original timeline, Deku gets like teleported, and he's like so many small fries, we'll have fun, we will have fun, won't you? So he taps his kendo stick on the ground like Yamamoto Genryusai does with his staff, and it rips, and there's like a big katana, like the Kenpachi Zaraki's like katana, which is essentially like broken, chipped katana with the weird hilt. And he's like, let's have fun, and he just like slash and slash and slash, and he kills, like, he doesn't like, he kills, he cuts, like he cuts limbs, he cuts hand, he cuts like legs, he like disembowels them, he just guts them, he just spills, like literally the whole sea area turns into red, and he's like and he's just cutting like left and right, and people are like Tsuyu and Minata, they're like scared as shit, because like, why wouldn't they be? I mean, it's Kenpachi Zaraki. So he just like goes like slowly, and he just like cuts people left and right, cuts all the villains. It's like, to him it's like, oh, so they're villains, so they don't deserve to be, they deserve to be like killed. And he's like, such boring elation. So he goes and he has his eye patch, and people can hear like the blade scraping against the ground, making like a noise, and his bell making noise like ching 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 ching. And he has like a lot of bells, so he's like as soon as they hear the bell and the scraping noise of the sword, they're like literally running like out of terror, because he's just like people are like, this guy is a butcher, this kid is just a butcher, he's killing people left and right. So literally like Deku kills almost like more than 100 people just in a matter of like few minutes, because he's taking his time, enjoying it, like Kenpachi would do that too. So that is happening. So he comes to it, and Shigaraki, and he sees like Aizawa is like laying on the ground. He's like, "Sensei, do you need a hand?" And he's like, "Oh no, go back." And like that, when he sees like Deku, he sees like a maniac, like devil face, a devil that is grinning. There's like blood spot, there's like blood on his face, like drips of blood, drops of blood, like there's like blood dripping from his face that is not his. There's like blood on his clothes and stuff, and there's like a big katana on his like shoulder, and he's like, Sensei, what do you think? And he's like, what happened? He's like, look behind me, and he sees behind, and he sees like hundreds of bodies that like mangled, decapitated, like out of limb. I mean, who knows who are alive, who knows who are not alive. He just cut them all. He just cuts like Kenpachi, he just cuts them all. Kenpachi Deku, he just cuts them all. He just cuts. It's like, young Midoriya, Midoriya, you have to help me. You have to ensure all the students are safe. And he's like, okay, but before that, I want to have a fight. And he goes and he points his katana towards like Shigaraki and Kurogiri, like, you challenge me, entertained me, hurt me, make me bleed, make me feel dead. And they just like, even Shigaraki, who is like extremely creepy, even he's creeped out by it. He's like, what the hell? And he's like, Kurogiri, bring out the Nomu. And the Nomu comes, and he just like, oh, you sound stronger. You might be able to hurt me. I would be able to enjoy it. Come at me. Come and hurt me. I'll give you a free strike. He takes off his shihakusho, and he's like, he puts his katana on the ground. He just like spreads his like hand, Jesus, like the cross style, like the Jesus cross crucifixion style, and it's like hits me. And the Nomu hits him, even claws him, and he's managed to like puncture him, but like scratch him a little bit. And he's like, and Zaraki like he took his thumb, and he's like wiping it here, and he's like, and putting on his like tongue. It's like, oh yeah, you will be fun. So Zaraki like fights with the Nomu hand to hand for a bit, and he's like, so let me cut you. You're becoming boring. So he takes his sword, hacks one of its hand, like in a matter of second. And Nomu is like saying like, Nomu is like skating in pain, like, and Nomu is like screaming and in pain. Nomu can't like make any noise and stuff like that. And and the Nomu is like regenerating again and again, and Deku is like, Kenpachi is like, oh, so you're more fun than you put out yourself to be. You hurt me, I'll hurt you. Let's see who of us dies first. Let's see who of us dies first. Won't it be fun? And he just like cuts the Nomu again and again, and the Nomu regenerates, and Nomu's like scratching and clawing against like Deku. It's going on for a few minutes, and the Nomu accidentally like puts his hand through Kenpachi's like belly, like what Noitora did, and Kenpachi is like, oh, you made a hole in me, let me make a hole in you. And he takes his like katana and he just like thrust it like a thrust. He thrusts it in Nomu's brain, open exposed brain. Oh look, there's like a hole in your brain, and the Nomu just dies. I mean, the Nomu's weak point was the brain, exposed brain. The Nomu just dies because it's like it dies. So sorry, it just dies, and like Deku is like, I ruined my fun, not again. Oh well, you're fun. Oh, you're fun. Hang on. Sorry, I was drinking some water because I got thirsty. I probably might cut that out in the edit, but essentially, like, All Might and all the heroes come and they're like, what the hell happened here? Why there is so much blood, like limbs, and so much like people dead? And Deku is like, well, I wanted to have some fun, and I had fun. And people are like, what the hell, man? Are you a hero or are you a monster? I mean, what the hell? Even Bakugo, Todoroki, they're scared, and like sane people like Momo, Kirishima, they see the carnage and they like vomit, like it's like a field of death and limbs and decapitated like heads, limbs, and just like that, and full of like blood everywhere. The whole sea area literally became like a sea of blood. So like it's like too gruesome and too brutal for like normal people, and they're like, it's like repulsive in a way, if you know what I mean. And the whole incident like happens, and like appalled, like should he be a hero or not? And people like All Might, he's like, okay, maybe he can, like, he shouldn't be a hero because he's like too much evil and stuff like that. But and then as they were like debating, he's like, hey, heroes, sensei, I have someone for you. And he like takes like Shigaraki and he puts them in front of them. Shigaraki is like afraid, like fearful of like Deku, and they're like, he's like, take me away from this monster. And Deku tells that he's supposed to be the successor of All for One, so interrogate him. Oh, by the way, in this timeline, like he even cuts like Kurogiri, because I mean, why not? I mean, if he can like kill someone who's grimy, whose literal power was like imagination, I mean, that's a flex that I'm willing to give, because that's a flex that he should have for sure, because it's Kenpachi Zaraki, the killer, the most epic character in Bleach, for sure. So yeah, he deserves all the flex and all of the flex there shall be. So he like literally like all the heroes are like, okay, so he does that, and they like interrogate Shigaraki, and they finds out like that he's like Nana Shimura's grandson and stuff like that, and it's just like complete like mind fuck moment for everyone, and everyone is like, what the hell? So All Might is like, okay, we need to fight and we need to get rid of All for One, and I know just who can take care of him, and that's gonna be Deku. That's gonna be Deku Zaraki. So the whole forest training arc happens. Deku again kills Muscular, kills bunch of villain, like Bakugo gets abducted, and Momo tells like, okay, we traced back, and Deku is like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. So he goes there alone. He doesn't like sorry for the noise by the neighbor, so he goes there alone, and he like gets the shit done, and he kills like a lot of villains, rescues like Bakugo, and Bakugo is like, ugh. And then comes like All for One versus Deku. So in the like fight, All for One like creates his gigantic arms, and he like air blast him, and he knows that he should like keep distance from him. And Deku like uses, for the first time, Deku uses some like Soul Reaper techniques. Like he uses Shanpo and gets behind him, and is like flash step, gets behind him, hacks off one arm, and All for One is like making even a bigger arm, like Akira style. It's like, you, and it's just like Deku just stands there. He's like, come and get me. I want you to feel pain. And he like, sorry for the noise upstairs. The neighbor upstairs is so annoying. So he fights there, and Deku is like fighting again and again, and like he's like getting like brutally like decked around by All for One, and it seems like an even fight, and it seems like Deku is about to lose. He's like there's like bunch of like cuts and bruises, and Deku still holding his katana with his one arm, and he's smiling. Such pain, such amazing bloods and guts. You're such a worthy opponent. And it's like live broadcasting. They're like freaked out by it, like, what the hell, who is this insane kid? And he's like, who's this 7 feet insane kid? Why is he like this? Why is he like such a like, why does the hero scare them more than the villain? They're like afraid of him and stuff like that. And Deku is like, and just like going around mock, and like All Might, not All Might, like All for One has a regeneration quirk in this scenario. Obviously, why wouldn't he have super fast regeneration? Actually, All for One like kills him back. All for One like is like hurting him, and Deku is hurting him too, slashing him, thrashing him. It's just All for One is recovering, Deku is not recovering. He's like bloody, cut several times. There's like 2 or 3 holes in his on his like what's it called, like on his body. And suddenly All for One like punches him, like one of his like tendril corks. There's like tendrils, like which is like extremely like tendrils with if they touch you, they will like electrocute you. They touch Deku, and they suddenly rip off his eye patch on his left eye, and there's like a massive like humongous like pressure, like spiritual pressure. All for One literally like vomits out blood profusely. He's like on his back, he's like falling on the ground. He's like, oh, what is this? And Deku saying like, big mistake, this is gonna be boring. And Deku is like, and All for One is like, what? And All for One like musters up all his courage, and he goes like plus ultra and creates like a big gigantic like air blast, and like coming from him from up to like low. So he has the like, it's his push and his gravitational force like combined. And Deku is like, all he does, Deku literally like takes one slice, and he just does like an upward slice, and he cuts All for One in half. in half. He cuts him in half, and people are like, what the hell? And he just like cuts him again and again. It's like an atomic samurai stuff. And oh, I should make a what if Deku was atomic samurai. So he cuts him like there's like no end left to him, because like it's like atomic level. He just like literally like cut him so many pieces that he wouldn't be able to like regenerate, and he's just dead. And it's like, oh well, that's fun. And he slowly puts his eye patch on, and people are like, so what the hell, so you're like that powerful? And it's like, yeah, I always restrict myself so that I could have fun in battle. Isn't having fun the funnest thing in battle? Oh yeah, one of these days I really want to enjoy fun. So in this what if, yeah, obviously Kenpachi is not gonna release his Shikai or Bankai, let alone Bankai. If he releases Nozarishi, which can legit destroy meteors, I should make a like a what if, where like what if Naruto was Kenpachi Zaraki's reincarnation. That would have been amazing. I mean, that series where Kenpachi Zaraki could like let loose. So the Metal Liberation Army and the overall arc, do I really have to cover? He just bonks the shit out of them. He stomp drops them, curve stops them, and he just like kills it out of the park. And crime is like on zero, and Deku is hailed as the Messiah. But his hero name is the demonic hero, Zaraki, the Butcher. So people call him the Butcher. Yeah, that's an epic name for like if Kenpachi Zaraki is a hero, he would be like named as Butcher. So he butchers, so people are like afraid of him. Like people are like legit afraid of him, because he is usually sent for like execution, like for like terrorist, or like for like situation where it's like too out of hand, or war, something like that. He's like he's like hero killer. He's not hero killer, he's like the Butcher, because he will like chop off limb on something like that. He's crazy. So people don't bother him unless they want to get into a fight, and he should not be bothered, and nobody messes with him. He's like that volatile, and that's crazy. So this is your host and those Kranti once again signing off. Tata, saying bye bye and love ya. Check my other what ifs, check this one, check, like, share, comment and subscribe. Check my music here, check my videos, and who knows, you might enjoy them. So this is your host and those Kranti once again saying tata, bye bye. This is the finale of What If Deku. How was Kenpachi Zaraki? Part 2 and series finale. Because I mean, seriously, like if I keep the series, there's no point to it, because Kenpachi Zaraki is extremely powerful. Like Bleach characters in general are like super powerful. Even Hanatoro will kick ass in this universe, and he's not huge. So I mean, why? So it just like curve storms it. So this is your host and those. So there is no point of like increasing or like keeping up the story. So it's just gonna kill it eventually. So this is your host and those Kranti once again signing off. Tata, bye bye, and love ya. Remember, sharing is caring, and subscribing is loving.